Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome into game night right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the
Kings and Lakers tonight. They'll play LA again on Saturday. In fact, they'll play them 3 the next 5. It's like a mini playoff series as we get ready for game night tonight. I asked Mike Brown about that question, Henry, if he was looking at it at all like a mini series in the regular season. And he said, quite honestly, he didn't know who was on the schedule after Saturday. So it tells you how long in the coaches are. They don't look that far out. But
Mike Brown, man, because Mike always say, taking it 5 games. You know who you play, Mike.
Yeah, I have to tend to agree with you on that. I'm not going to question the coach again after that answer.
I understand the consentment of Mike.
Right now, bro, you take the game by game. You're just trying to win your next one. You ain't got time to look down the road and say, okay, we got these guys 4 or 5 more times. No, you got to win tonight. And then we'll talk about tomorrow night or the next night or whoever else we got to go to or come into this building.
No doubt. And there's a lot to talk about here, of course, as the Kings are getting some players back. We'll get you updated on that. Our injury report is coming up. Some news, De'Aaron Fox making some news in regards to his willingness to sign a contract. He was on with Draymond Green. We'll get into that a little bit. And, of course, LeBron, the King, holding court today earlier on, talking to the media, wide range of topics for LeBron. And speaking of LeBron, tonight to set the NBA record. The one record he probably hasn't set yet, because he's set every other NBA record. He's going to set the record for most minutes played by an NBA.
Now, is he going
Tonight,
to?
because
I think he was still questionable.
Yep. He is listed as questionable.
Okay.
Yeah, both him and AD are scheduled to play unless something changes here in the next hour and a half before tip.
Right. No, I actually watched AD come out. I can usually tell the guys going out by watching their preview.
Yep.
I check him in their preview. Okay, he's ready. Or, no, man, he's just taking a couple shots.
Exactly. Kevin Herter's out there. Good news on Herter, who is scheduled to play as well. We'll get into all that and a lot more, but before we do need to revisit Monday night. It was a painful loss for the Kings after a horrendous start, a tremendous comeback, and then the inability to close it out in the final minutes. What was your takeaway?
I mean, you really touched upon it. It was a horrible start for the Sacramento Kings. And, that was from the starters. That was from your main crew, because that starting group came out and went down 20 quick. And when I say quick, I'm talking easy buckets, backdoor cuts, offensive rebounds, second chance shots, 50-50 balls. Went down 20 very, very fast. But then again, on the flip side, once they figured out that they were getting embarrassed on their home floor and almost getting ran up out of here, they flipped the switch, started playing defense, and was able to get back into the ball game before halftime.
They did. They made a tremendous comeback after being down 23 early in that second quarter. They got right back in it. And again, they had the 10-point lead with 4 minutes to go, and then just went a little cold. And of course, you got to give the Nuggets credit. They hit big shot after big shot, and that's what great players do. The Joker hitting a 3. Jamal Murray went off. That Aaron Gordon 3 was the one that really hurt the Kings. It was kind of a left wing 3 with nobody under the basket that went in for him. But, again, the Kings had the play they wanted at the end of the game. They'd run that play to the other side once for DeMar DeRozan, and he did everything but just catch the basketball.
Scott, I'm going to go back before you even got down to that last play. Let's go back to, the last 4 minutes when you're up 10. When you're in crunch time like that, and I would say we usually call crunch time 3 minutes and below, but I'm going to go ahead and put it at that 4 minute mark just for that Denver game. You saw what Denver ran, right? Every play from the 4 minute was between Jokic and Murray.
Yep.
And they pretty much scored every time. Now, understanding that, okay, they're on a heater, they're scoring. The Kings have to be able to score also. If you're not going to stop them, you have to be able to match them. You up 10.
Yep.
It shouldn't be any pressure. When they come down to score, you got to make sure you get a good basket, a good look, 2 free throws, or whatever. That was supposed to be, honestly, give the ball to DeMar DeRozan, get down to the low post, and D hold us for 2 minutes.
Yep.
If he could have did that, that would have worked. The Denver Nuggets were in some type of quirky matchup zone type thing, and that bothered the Sacramento Kings 3 possessions down. They stopped the Kings 3 times and went down and scored 3 times. Next thing you know, it's a 1-possession game.
Yeah, the zone definitely did bother the Kings. There's no doubt about that. And it did force them into some shots they probably didn't want. As for that first quarter start, what do you make of that from Sacramento? We've seen that too many times this year.
You know what? Attention to detail, Scott. It just has to be total concentration and how you come out and how you're facing a game. You know, it has nothing to do with X's and O's because you're getting beat on backdoor cuts. You're getting out-hustled on 50-50 balls. You're getting out-rebounded. They're getting second-chance shots. All of those things are just hustle plays. It has nothing to do with, X's and O's. It has nothing to do with, how well you score. It has everything to do with your effort and your concentration.
No doubt the starters have to take the onus of that to get off the better starts. And that was what Mike Brown was so upset about after the game on Monday night, was that lack of attention that you just addressed right there.
Yes, attention to detail. And then, like I said, when you're coming down into crunch time, it's so important, Scott, to where all of your players are in tune with time, pace, and score. That acronym is so important when it's come down to closing out a basketball game. You got to know what's a good shot. You have to know what's a bad shot, what's a quick shot, what's an early shot. You have to know all of those particular things when you're out there on the floor, because all of that comes into play. It can't be, okay, just shoot a 3, come down next 3. Yep. No, it's not that. It's more methodical than that. You're not playing against Denver no more. You're playing against the clock. You're playing against yourself. So you have to be a smarter basketball player in those crunch time situations.
No doubt. And we obviously saw a great battle of 2 big men. Both the Joker and Sabonis went for triple doubles in that game. Sabonis played a heck of a game, just tremendous. And the body contact he took in those 48 minutes were about as great as I've seen him take in any game.
The dude takes a beating every game, Scott. He really does. And, he's like a Timex.
Yeah.
He keeps on ticking. And, the good thing about it is that he's able to do that. I'm glad that he hasn't really, taken a bad fall or has a bad hit to where he's going to be out for some substantial time. But I'll tell you what, you never question the overall effort of Sabonis out there on the floor.
No doubt. He took that heavy fall along the baseline. And I thought it was almost a concussion, like it hit the back of his head pretty tough. It was more his back that was bothering him. And obviously he was in severe pain. But to his credit and to our disbelief, his tolerance for pain is second to none.
Hey, you know what? He plays a man-style basketball game, okay? Banging, bruising, he understands that's a part of it. And when that's your calling card, that's what you have to do. You have to play like, it's your last game.
Yep. No doubt. And we've seen Denver, and Denver's kind of like Sacramento. They're starter heavy. And I mean, both teams relied on their top 5 tremendously. The Kings only got 14 bench points. The Nuggets were a little better. They got 29. Strother played pretty well. Hunter Tyson, I liked his game. The rookie out of Clemson contributed, and Peyton Watson was pretty good too. Just curious for you, when you look at Denver, first time we've seen them in person this year, do they still feel like a championship caliber team with what they have? I mean, obviously their starting 5 will compete with anybody, anytime. Do they have enough depth in your mind?
Enough depth. I think they're one player away from it. They're one Alexander Pope away from it. One more shooter, one more scorer. I mean, not Alexander Pope, but Caldwell Pope.
Yep.
One guy
KCP.
like that away from it. Because, I mean, they still have a tremendous starting 5, man. Michael Porter Jr. didn't even play that well against us, but we know what he's capable of doing.
Yep.
So Aaron Gordon had his way. He really had his way, Scott. And I feel bad because when we started the pregame, remember, that's exactly what I said. I said, if the Kings go small on Aaron Gordon, he's going to recognize that, and he's going to exploit that to the fullest. And what did we do? We put DeMar DeRozan on him, and he took DeMar DeRozan into the paint at least 4 or 5 times straight.
No doubt. And I think in part, obviously, attention to detail that first quarter, but also just when the Nuggets are clicking and with that height and athleticism, I mean, and they're as good as anybody in the league, but that's the Kings where you can see the roster is a little lacking. It's hard for them to match up with a team like that. It's hard for any team to match up like it, but especially Sacramento.
It was, but I think it was more so, Scott, just the matchup. You know, when he's looking at a 6'6" DeMar DeRozan, all right, I would have still went Dougie McBuckets on him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Dougie's 6'8", maybe 6'9". You know, at least he sees some length around him. When he looked at DeMar, I was like, oh, no. He would immediately. The first play down was what? A lob to Aaron Gordon at the basket, bucket.
Yep. And we saw a few of those.
Time and time again. Yeah. And Scott, you know, we talk about basketball IQ. We talk about time, pace, and score. You know, you have to know your personnel. I would have went to it until Sacramento Kings was able to stop it.
Yeah.
You're going to either stop it or I'm going to go to it all night. Which one you going to do?
Yep, no doubt. That was frustrating because the Kings did make the tremendous comeback, but unable to close it out. So the Kings come into this game tonight 13-14. These are big games against the Lakers. As we said, they're going to play them back-to-back here. They'll play them again on December 28th in LA, and then the season will be over because, of course, the Kings have already been to LA once. So they've got to take advantage of this. LA, of course, a team right there on the same line as the Kings, a game ahead of Sacramento in the win-loss column, 14-12. Not as good a team on the road, just 5-9. They're 9-3 at home. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about the matchup. We'll get into LeBron. We'll get into AD. Of course, we'll get into all the things going on tonight. It's Kings game night. It's being brought to you until 6:30 tonight. It's being brought to you also by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. This time of year especially, there's a lot of kids out there that can use outside mentors. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community, help a kid who could use an outside mentor in their lives, give Big Brothers and Big Sisters a call today. More game night coming to you live from the Golden One Center right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand.
The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, you got to tell me what's going on for the Wrap Up the Year sales event.
Wrap up our biggest savings of the year with up to $17,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram heavy duties. Plus, with over 400 new Rams available, including the hard-to-find heavy duties, your perfect truck is waiting at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
That's a huge selection of Rams, and that's why Hoblet's the top Ram dealer in California, Chad.
Not only do we have great deals on new Ram trucks, the Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Super Center. With over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under 20,000.
Start, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmans after 10,500 factor rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet inventory coupons while supplies last, 2,000 trade-in assistance on qualifying trades, 500 upfit, 2,000 California commercial business bonus cash, business ownership, and 500 upfit required. 5 net savings, sample VIN 357313. See dealer for details.
The most
most wonderful time of the year has officially begun at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. This is the sale you've been dreaming of with holiday hits on every aisle. 12 full days of unbeatable prices on only the best Makita products in town and much, much more. Free batteries with tools, free tools with batteries, and bare tools starting at just $99. So check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road in Sacramento or shop our Christmas deals online at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Welcome back to the game night right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Game night being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Kings and Lakers tonight, second meeting of the year. Of course, game one went the way of the Lakers. And Henry, I won't forget that game for a long time. It was the first weekend of the schedule. And it was LeBron absolutely taking over that game in the fourth quarter. The Lakers had a 22-0 run. LeBron had 16 of those 22 points to take over that game. And we've seen LeBron, and we know how many great efforts he's had against the Kings. That might have been his finest stretch of basketball right there.
Well, you know what, Scooter? Here's the situation with that. We have all-star players for a reason. You have Hall of Fame type players for a reason. And we all know that anybody that we put in that category can have a night.
Yeah.
And we're talking about LB, arguably the best who have ever done it. Can he have a night? No doubt. Can he have two nights? For sure. You know, but how consistent he's going to be with it at the age of 40, we don't know, but we do know that he is capable of having nights like that.
And he had nights.
It hurts.
Yeah.
But what can you do? And especially when he gets that little raggedy jump shot going. And that's what he did against us. He knocked down some
three after three, man.
And got to seeing that ball go through the net. And when that happens, and especially with a player like him that's so dominant, you're going to have a long night.
No doubt. And then it was AD who took over down the stretch of that game.
Right, because, you know, you got Bron cooking. You know, how many times have I talked about, you know, when you start having some success out there on the floor, it becomes infectious to the rest of the players. You know, Bron cooking. AD say, hey, man, I'm hungry. Let me cook for a while. Now you got two guys that's on the heater. And when you got both of those guys rolling like that, you can sprinkle Manny Moe and Jack on that roster. Both of those guys playing like that, and you can still win.
And that's basically what they did. I mean, they got off to that great start. Won their first three home games. They set up nicely early in the year with all the home games. They're 9-3 at home, 5-9 on the road right now. And, of course, the big story tonight for the King. And I think it's really coming full circle tonight because, as you know, LeBron James starting his NBA career in Sacramento, his first minutes played in our capital city. And now tonight he's going to break the record for most regular season minutes in NBA history, all things willing. He comes into the game 57,437 minutes logged. That's 9 minutes behind the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had 57,446.
Man, and you know, we talk about the longevity of LeBron. That's a lot of time on that body.
Yeah.
A lot of time, even though we understand he came in year 18. You know, a lot of players don't get the luxury of coming in straight out of high school, you know, so that pretty much gives LeBron 4-year up gap on them. But still, when you talk about the minutes, because this dude has been to the playoffs almost every year of his career. And sometimes, and the majority of the time, deep into the playoffs, if not a championship run.
No doubt. You're right. The regular season minutes don't even take into account all those extra minutes and the Olympics and everything else he's been a part of.
Exactly. That's why I say, you know, not just the minutes counting, it's a lot of minutes on his body.
It is.
You know, you can't start, you know, taking minutes away from what he's done with his body. All of those count.
They do indeed. And he's going to turn 40 at the end of the month. So his 30s are coming to a close here.
Wow. You know, how fast basketball time goes by. You know, I mean, he's had a I don't even want to say great is an understatement for what LeBron James has done for the game of basketball.
Greatest ever, no doubt. Walk us back. I was there that night, the first game he ever stepped in at Arco Arena. And, of course, you're still getting royalties from the commercial that they made by Nike, which you were a part of, which is still, I mean, how awesome to say you were a part of the first LeBron James Nike commercial.
That was cool.
Yeah,
man.
that's cool, man.
It was really cool, and I was, I was definitely thankful and humbled that they even asked me to be a part of it. Even though they needed big, tall guys, so it wasn't like I was a hell of an actor or anything. It wasn't like I got Denzel credentials in the acting guild, but it was just one of those things where it was definitely an icon type night.
Yeah,
it was definitely one of those nights where it was something special.
Yeah,
and I can say, you know what? If you look real hard, squint, and see the guy in the corner with the headband, that's your dad right there.
Now you witness history. I was fortunate enough to be in the building that night, and the one thing you knew, because that was during the heyday of the Kings with the whole run going on, and you had all the great Kings players on the floor that night, but you could tell that LeBron was going to be the best of all of them.
From the very first time he took off and dunked that basketball. You remember he got the steal?
Yep.
Got the steal on Doug Christie and took off and dunked that basketball. I was like, ooh-wee, this kid here. I mean, I knew he was going to be something when I first looked at him.
Yep.
Because, we had the same agent at that particular point. So, he was part family. I stood next to him and I'm like, how old is this kid?
Yeah.
How old you say he is? I'm like, this dude got a man's body right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to wait for mine to come in, Scott. I mean, you would have thought when I came into the NBA, I had to wait on some muscles to come in through FedEx. I wasn't truly developed yet. I'm looking at this dude. He 18 years old. I'm like, man, your body. I want to ship. Who you shipping with? DHL.
Exactly.
Because you got everything right now.
Let's make it a twofer.
Yeah, really.
I'll jump on that. It's been remarkable what he has done, and of course today he had a lot to say. Also, wide-ranging topics with the King. Talked about the All-Star game. We haven't had a chance to talk about that. They're changing the format of the game. Kevin Durant was pretty vocal, saying he didn't like it whatsoever, that they're going to the 4 teams, first the 40 win format. LeBron came out and just said, they had to change the format because the game was becoming totally unwatchable, which I think is true.
Can we talk about this, Scott?
Yeah.
I mean, and I look at the All-Star game as a novelty. Okay.
Yeah.
You can change it every year all you want to.
Yep.
All right. But let's talk about right now how people are complaining about the viewership of the NBA is down.
Yes.
And they want to point the finger at 3-point shooting.
And that's the other thing LeBron talked about as well.
Come on, Scott.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. That's like letting the genie out of the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to put that back in.
Yeah.
Because when we first start witnessing a bunch of guys coming down and shooting the 3-point shot the way that they were shooting, a la Steph Curry, he changed the game.
Yep.
The game totally changed.
Yep.
Well, that wasn't too long ago. And now all of a sudden we're crying that, it's not an enjoyable watch because everybody is shooting threes. Well, it was a hell of a watch back then when they were shooting them and they were winning championships.
True.
So what's the problem now? I mean, are you upset because all the teams are shooting threes now?
Yeah.
But they won championships that way, Scott. So it's like, how are you going to change the game up now?
No question. And LeBron's quote, to kind of follow up on what you said when asked about the All-Star game, he goes, it's not just the All-Star game, it's our game in general. So, and then he talked about the number of 3-pointers being shot, and he just said it's a bigger conversation than just the All-Star game. That's what we're having right now. So you don't feel the influence of the 3-point shot has diminished the game in your eyes at all?
No, because that's really why the 3-point shot became such a big weapon. You remember the NBA wanted to speed the game up.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
The NBA wanted entertainment. They wanted 3-point shots. We want to see all the 3-point shots. We want to see high-octane offense. You remember when high-octane offense was like a commodity in the NBA?
Sure.
Now we're talking, there's too many 3-pointers and we want to slow it back down and we want it to be more methodical. Well, I tell you what, if you want this thing to go back if you want to turn the clock back, which I seriously doubt that they can, if you want, because it's evolution, it's going to change.
Yeah.
If you want to turn the clock back, stop taking these young kids.
Yeah.
Stop taking these young kids. Make sure that you taking cats that have done at least 2 years in college ball, to where now, guess what? You're not teaching anymore. Guys are coming into the league prepared. You can run a more methodical type offense. You can run a more diverse set instead of having to run a just a regular read and react offense that every AAU team runs that has the basketball club.
Yeah. No, those are all fair points. Do you feel like at least the 3-point shot needs to be moved back, or maybe there isn't a 3-point shot in the corner where it's the shortest and easiest to make?
Scott, I mean,
no, I'm just asking.
No, I know. I'm saying, I'm not per se saying to you, but I'm just saying, just for the sake of arguments, right?
Yeah.
Why would we move the 3-point line back when Steph Curry's shooting at the logo anyway?
Oh yeah, he can hit from any point, but he is the unicorn, right? And there are others, but I mean, obviously it would affect the amount and the percentage.
More and more guys. Oh, it's definitely going to affect the percentage, no doubt. But more and more guys are taking those jump shots 1, 2, 3 steps. Look where D-Lo is shooting from right now.
Yeah.
Where is he shooting from? Tell our audience where D-Lo is shooting from. And he ain't a great 3-point shooter. What is he doing?
Hey, launching from 30 feet out.
He's chalking them up from half court.
Yep.
You know, we got guys like Trey, chunk them up from half court.
Yep.
Dame Lillard, chunk them up from half court. He don't do it though. Shea Gilders don't shoot him from
No, he doesn't shoot the 3-pointer very much, and that's what makes him so special, right?
Right. But I'm saying, a lot of our so-called 3-point shooters, they don't care if they 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps behind the line. They let it go.
Yeah, they do. They let it fly. And we know Mike Brown, he wants to have the Kings let it fly as well. All right, good conversation there. When we come back, we'll take a look around the league. We'll get you caught up on the other news, the other games as well. Get into the conversation about De'Aaron Fox. He did make some news himself, talking to Draymond Green, basically his contract situation, wanting to know where the Kings are going. Where are we going was kind of the quote that came out of that. I'll get your thoughts on that. It's game night. It's being brought to you live from the Golden One Center right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Xfinity here. How can we help? Yeah, there are so many football games streaming this season. Can Xfinity Internet handle it? Oh, we know the game is only live once, so we built a network with all-pro speeds and low lag so you don't miss a snap. So I can yell, "He's open!" when he's actually open? Yeah, but the quarterback still can't hear you.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and TV and enjoy instant access to your favorite live sports with the Xfinity Stream app. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Streaming content limited to the U.S. Programming subject to change.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And I recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of their new doors will amaze you. If you have a garage door need, let National Garage Door be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
The most wonderful time of the year has officially begun at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. This is the sale you've been dreaming of, with holiday hits on every aisle. 12 full days of unbeatable prices on only the best Makita products in town, and much, much more. Free batteries with tools. Free tools with batteries. batteries, and bare tools starting at just $99. So check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road in Sacramento, or shop our Christmas deals online at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Welcome back to the game night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer Henry Turner. Game nights being brought to you by our good friends at Power Business Technology. They're going to be out at the game tonight. Experience for yourself how the Power family can help you with all your business copier needs. That's what they do. Give them a call, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. Be great to have them here tonight inside the Golden One Center. All right, LeBron James is warming up, and just to kind of follow up our conversation on that just a little bit, you know, obviously we're watching greatness. We're watching one of the all-time great sports icons. And you have to appreciate it. You also have to always take into an account this might be his last trip to Sacramento. You never know what he might do at the end of the year. There's also rumors perhaps that he could get traded. They had blocked his trades in previous years. There's been a lot of talk, maybe Golden State. I know they were interested in him before. Rich Paul, his agent, basically saying they blocked that. Who knows what could or could not happen, but every time you get somebody this special, you know, here in our building, you have to take notice.
I will say this, Scott. I don't think the Lakers would ever trade LeBron James. I don't see nobody that they would trade for LeBron James. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Now, they're in the same situation with LeBron as they were with Kobe, as they were with Magic. You're not trading those guys. It's not happening. Either those guys want to leave or they roll out on your squad, and that's the last time they're going to put on a uniform.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, they've blocked all trades in the past. It seems like there could be a little more willingness, but who knows at the end of the day if something came push to shove, what they might do. But we will see LeBron James here tonight and again on Saturday. Back-to-back games at home against the Los Angeles
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You know, this is play armchair GM while we're sitting here talking about it.
Yep.
Now, we're going to go through the whole league. Who would you trade LeBron for?
Boy.
Who would you trade LeBron for? I mean, you know it's got to be an elite.
Yep.
So,
sure.
Understanding that LB is about to click over 40.
Yep.
All right. And the rest of the elites are definitely younger than him.
Yep.
So, who are you going to trade LeBron James for?
Yeah. And how many teams would trade for him? It's a limited
That's what
group.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a limited group.
Which team is going to, okay.
The Warriors would be one of those teams, I would think.
Who do you get up on? Steph?
No, they're not going to give away stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I know.
So anybody else under Steph is unacceptable.
Yep. I can understand that.
I mean, you know, Milwaukee giving up Giannis?
No, of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Denver giving up Jokic?
No.
No.
Of course not.
So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be hard.
Yes.
Almost impossible to trade.
Sure. And then you think of the salary considerations on top of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
it's going to
but
be
obviously, having
impossible.
said all that, the Warriors were trying to get him last year.
Everybody would love to get him.
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, you know, he's not a KD.
Yep.
We're talking about the face of the NBA. He's not a KD.
Yeah.
Even at 40, he's still pretty much the face of this league. And, you know, salary and as far as is LB going to go to anybody's team and be a number 2?
No.
But
he's
too dominant.
Him and Steph did play together in the Olympics, and we're talking specifically about that relationship. I think potentially that could work.
You know what? Them playing together, I think they could. You know, I honestly think they could. Kobe, no way, no how.
No, that's a different story.
And no way, no how. He's not going to anybody's team to be a number 2.
Yeah.
You know, KD already did played the second fiddle or third fiddle, but you know, it's going to be hard. Like I said, the guys that even can think about being traded for LeBron James are far and few in between.
That is definitely the case. No doubt about it. All right, let's focus in on De'Aaron a little bit. He went on the Draymond Green podcast He was asked by Draymond, what was the motivation for you passing up on the extension, which he could have signed in the offseason? I'm going to read his entire answer and then let you give me your thoughts on it. For me, man, it has all to do with the team, the organization. Where are we going? I want to make sure that we're in a position to try and win in the future because that's ultimately what I want to do. I feel like I'm continuing to get better as a player every year, but for me, it's are we looking like we're continuing to get better year after year? And are we going to be able to compete at a high level? If we can show that this year, you signed the extension now. If not, obviously I still have another year, but that's where my mindset is. I love the city. I love being here. I've raised my family here. I would love to be here and retire here. How many people can say they've played in one organization for their whole career? I want to be part of that select few people, but at the end of the day, I also want to win.
Okay.
Anything there?
Yep.
Are we reading between lines, or how do you take that?
I look at it for face value. He's telling you right now he likes it here. I believe that. He wants this team to win. I believe that.
Yep.
He wants this team to always be able to put their best foot forward and, go out and put a good product out on the floor. Believe that also. But here's where the problem lies. The money. You know what? Whenever you have a problem, you do one thing. You follow the money.
Yep.
Now, is De'Aaron going to take a lesser contract so this organization can go out and get better players? Because that's what it takes.
Yeah.
It takes the money. And I'm not mad whether what De'Aaron does or not. I am definitely pro player, and I honestly believe you get as much as you possibly can. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, well, if you want this team to be better, this team is they're going to have to go out and they're going to have to spend some money. So if one player got it all, you can't get any better. The money is spent. So, it's going to have to be some type of give on this side to make this team keep going higher and higher.
Yeah, but again, just to put in perspective, Fox turned down a 3-year, $165 million extension this offseason. Fox will be eligible for a minimum 4-year, $229 million extension at the end of this year. If he makes all NBA, that becomes a 5-year, $345 million Supermax
let's
deal.
talk about that one.
So that's what we're talking about, a ton of money on the line for De'Aaron Fox. The Kings are in the situation, of course, where if it gets to the offseason, they can't reach a deal. He could become an unrestricted free agent at the end of next year and walk away for nothing.
Now, that's called cutting your throat.
Yeah.
That's called cutting your throat, because it's the situation of you have a potential all-star player, probably Hall of Fame player. Michael Thompson said he's going to make it to the Hall of Fame. Probably Hall of Fame type player that you let walk for nothing. That's asinine.
Yeah.
So, Sacramento is definitely going to have to get something done. Definitely something's going to have to be done.
Yeah, and you would think it'd have to be in the offseason next year. I don't know if you go into the year. Obviously, you would have up till the trade deadline. I mean, you could carry it out, but things get really dicey if you don't have something done at the end of this year. And right now, do you think that Fox is on pace to be on an all-NBA team? I mean, ton of games left, but if you were voting today, would Fox be on the top 3 all-NBA team? I don't think so either.
And you know what, Scott? The sad part about it is I think his play is good enough to be on the all-star team. All NBA team.
Yeah.
But it's the record of the team that's killing him.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if we was in 4th or 3rd, no doubt, Fox would be right there. Think about this. When we were in 3rd, Fox was on the MVP vote.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
We weren't even talking about first team all NBA.
Yeah.
We were talking about MVP voting.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that plays a big part.
It does. He's played in every game this year. He's averaging over 26 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals per game.
Yep.
Pretty tough to top those numbers.
Bro, like I said, the numbers are there.
Yeah.
The only thing that's hurting him is the numbers on the win committee right there.
Yeah. In terms of the Kings and what they've tried to do you feel like they've tried to do it enough? Obviously, they went and got DeMar. That was a big offseason signing.
I'm about to say we made moves, Scott.
Yeah.
It's not like they said we're gonna re-roll this again.
Yeah.
Got rid of Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Debo was a big signing for us.
Yeah, it was.
A huge signing. So, going out and bringing Dougie McBuckets to shoot. Okay, going out signing Jay Crowder. I mean, they've tried to make moves. Now, are they Herculean moves where you say, whoa, this is going to be a for sure splash? No, because I don't think, for one, we got that type of team. Who are you going to go out and say, okay, this dude here is definitely going to change the way our franchise is being looked at as far as being in the NBA?
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be very interesting to see how active the Kings are before the deadline. Lots of stuff going on there. We'll get into that, the injury report, coming up in our next break. Let's quickly get you caught up on the other games going on in the association tonight. Jazz over the Pistons, 106-99. Midway fourth, we'll see Detroit the day after Christmas. They come in on the 26th. The Magic trailing against the Thunder right now. OKC, who got throttled in Vegas on Tuesday night.
Didn't they?
Winning tonight, 92-80. Did that surprise you, by the way?
Yes.
Milwaukee's rolling right now.
You know what, though? You have to be smarter. You have to be smarter in Milwaukee. If you're going to let Giannis get to the top of the key without putting a body in front of him, you're losing.
It's over.
You're losing.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yep. And after the rocky start, it feels like Doc Rivers has turned that thing around, and they should get Middleton back and healthy again also. Wizards are threatening to win their fourth game of the year, 3-21. They're on top of the Hornets, 107-100 with 4 minutes to go. So it's the 3-21 Wizards, the 7-19 Hornets right now.
Scooter, even a garbage can get a steak every once in a while. I always say they are NBA players, and they're capable of winning the game. Yeah. You just don't want them to win against you.
Yeah, that's true. Celtics leading the Bulls 83-80. That game has just entered the fourth quarter in Boston. Or actually, it's just the late third, about to enter the fourth quarter. Raptors over the Nets, 66-61 midway third. Rockets over the Pelicans, 66-52 at halftime. How about this score right now? We were watching a little bit on the big screen here. At halftime, the Grizzlies 69 and the Warriors 38.
Ooh. I tell you what, the Grizzlies are nice.
They are.
They're nice. And, and OKC is showing it, but they are a very good basketball team too. I am so impressed. I know, as you know, Shea does his thing. He's the leader of the basketball club, but I am so impressed with Jalen Williams. Ooh-wee.
He's a player.
That boy is a walking bucket. He is a problem.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a Carmelo Anthony type dude. I mean, he can just get buckets either way, to the basket, 3-pointers, just score at will.
Yeah, he's big time. And again, the Warriors, they got off to that terrific start. They're only 14-11 right now. They're struggling, and that might also force their hand about terms of trying to make another move. They got Schroeder. That should help replace the injury to DeAnthony Melton, but the Warriors right now are not playing good basketball.
No, I wouldn't doubt that they would want to make a move. I'm pretty sure, they can always make their team better. The problem is the right guy out there?
That's always the ultimate question.
Is the right guy out there?
Yeah. Hawks over the Spurs, 66-60. That's at halftime. The Mavericks over the Clips, 36-30. First quarter action, the Pacers over the Suns early on, 7-6. Indiana will be here on Sunday. So not only do you play the Lakers back-to-back Thursday, Saturday, but you have a home back-to-back after that. 2 3:00 games this weekend as the Pacers come in.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
It's an interesting schedule. You've got the Knicks and the Timberwolves upcoming, Nuggets and Trailblazers later on tonight in the game. We'll focus in on when we come back. Lakers and Kings. We'll get you your Gingery and Hammer Associates injury report. That and a lot more. It's game night right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, it's time to open up your calendar app for some incredible live events coming your way. This is the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, bringing you the hottest shows in town. Kick off 2025 with country superstars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean. They're hitting the stage at Thunder Valley on January 10th for a night of hot country hits. Then on January 11th, laugh until your sides hurt with comedy legend Bill Engvall. He's performing live at Thunder Valley, a show you won't want to miss. And the one and only Justin Timberlake is bringing electrifying energy to the Golden One Center on January 15th. This is your chance to see an icon in action. For a more intimate vibe, catch Bryce Vine at Ace of Spades on January 25th. It'll be an unforgettable night of alternative hip-hop. And finally, looking ahead to February 20th, Old 60 lights up Ace of Spades with their unique blend of rock and soul. Get your tickets now because these shows will sell out fast. For details and updates, visit sacktownsports.com. And stay tuned. This is your ticket to the best live entertainment in the 916, the Sacktown Sports live events calendar.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Welcome back into game night right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140, our final segment. Scott Marshall along with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. We'll get you ready for Kings Live pregame. That comes up at 6:30. Your point about the three-point line doesn't really matter if you move it back or not. During our break, we're sitting here watching LeBron James shoot from half court as if it's a 20-footer.
Right. I mean, so when we talk about, well, are we going to pull the line back? Will that stop it? No.
Yeah.
The genie is out the bottle. You're not putting it back in.
Yeah.
He's not going back in.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that point for sure. Let's get to our Gingery and Hammer Associates injury report for tonight. If you have an injury, make sure to call Gingery. For the Kings tonight, some really good news. They will get Kevin Huerter back. Keegan Murray is back, and Sabonis will play. However, they will be without the services of Trey Lyles, who apparently had a little bit of a setback with his recovery, so he's not going to play tonight for Sacramento, but the bench will be a lot deeper. As for the Lakers, they did have Anthony Davis and LeBron James both on the injury report, but both of those guys are going to go tonight. Jackson Hayes is out with an ankle. Bronny, in case you're wondering, he's with the G League. He is not with the team tonight, although it's interesting. He's been coming up for a lot of the weekend games. It's a possibility we could see him in the building on Saturday.
Wow, really? You think so?
That'd be interesting.
Would be nice.
I'd love to see somehow LeBron and Bronny get on the floor together up here.
I would love to see it, because it's a history type thing. And, and I would love just to see him play.
Yeah. Yep. It'd be great to see him in person. So, all right, let's focus in a little bit here. We know the matchups. We know who's playing. What do the Kings need to do differently than they did in LA last time down there?
Well, I don't know about LA, but I'll tell you what they need to do differently as far as the last time they played in this building against Denver. The start, they definitely have to come out, Scott, with more attention to detail, more firepower from the beginning. Cannot let LA come out and just have their way and get up big. You don't want the Sacramento Kings to be fighting, trying to get back from a 20-point deficit early on.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the key. And obviously you can't give up a 22-0 run either in the fourth quarter.
Right.
That was the undoing in LA. No doubt about it. Sabonis took a ton of punishment Monday night guarding Jokic, and he did a great job against Nikola Jokic. The matchup against Anthony tonight, he usually does a great job against AD. He'll get a lot of that tonight. I'm just curious with how banged up Sabonis is, how much we'll see that matchup tonight.
Well, I don't think that Sabonis is going to, be on a minutes restriction. This dude loves to play. He loves the hoop. But when it comes down to him and AD, now this is just how I see it. I don't know for sure, but it seems to me that Sabonis doesn't shy away from the contact. Anthony Davis does. So whenever Sabonis really puts the pressure on AD and really want to go chest to chest, AD don't want no parts of that.
Yeah, and do you think that's why Sabonis has had such good success against him?
Yes, because AD wants to play more of a finesse type game. If they can stay out by the free throw line in a mid range game, AD has the advantage. But once they get down low into the paint to where it's a man's type game, you have to use your shoulder and your body and make contact. Sabonis wins that.
Yeah, now Sabonis has had a great success against Anthony Davis, and the Kings in general have had great success against the Lakers.
They've been able to play decent against the Lakers. This isn't, and let's put it out there early, this isn't the old school rivalry with, Rick Fox and Doug Christie and Shaq and Kobe and Mike Bibby and Chris Webber.
Yeah.
It ain't that. It hasn't been that for a long time. I don't even think the Lakers look at the Sacramento Kings to say rivalry. They look at it as just another basketball game. Now, we hold on to that because that was our heyday.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But at the end of the day, this is just two teams that's playing a regular season game.
No doubt. What do you make of J.J. Redick, his first year with the Lakers? A lot of people were very skeptical about him coming in. No head coaching experience. Obviously, he was very close to LeBron. It feels to me like he's done a pretty good job so far.
Scott, they've been smart about it. Okay. Number one, you have a basketball team that knows what they want to run. All right. Now, if JJ wants to change some things, yeah, he can tweak some things. You know what? And then you look down on JJ's roster. He got two ex-head coaches who have had good success in this league. He has Nate McMillan sitting right next to him. And sitting right next to Nate, you got Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
I mean Scotty Brooks.
Yep.
Two guys that have coached in the NBA and have really coached at a high level. So, yeah, he's set up to win.
Yeah. I love the rookie Dalton Connect, and I'll be honest, I was hoping the Kings were going to draft him on draft night. They passed him up, and they went with Devin Carter. And, of course, we can't judge that. We haven't seen Devin yet. Hopefully he's going to be playing soon. But I love Dalton Connect, and he was certainly NBA ready when he came in.
Yeah, he was. Because he's another dude that can step over half court and let it go.
Yeah.
That young man can shoot. I haven't seen much of the Lakers. I've watched, Sports Center and a lot of other things. I haven't had a chance to watch a full game. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some plays where that young man lets it go, and LeBron really instills in him and say, hey, shoot the basketball. So you got an uber green light when LeBron says you can shoot from wherever.
No doubt about that. And, he has really helped their team because they needed outside shooting.
They needed outside shooting. Debo, okay, but he isn't what they're looking for. So when you have a guy like Dalton Connect that can come out and knock it down, Reeves can still shoot the basketball pretty decent. That gives you three good options as far as that three-point line.
No doubt. And as I said, it's a back-to-back versus L.A., and you'll see him again next Saturday night. So you're going to be done with the Lakers before 2025 even starts. It feels to me like this is an important series here for the Kings, and it's almost like a mini series right now.
And I will say this, don't get comfortable because you're going to see these guys a lot.
Yeah.
So understand that you really need to come out and set the tone.
No doubt. The Kings certainly can do that. And beyond that, we've just said this for 3 years now. The Kings need to set a tone at home.
You know what, Scott, the presence here at G1, when you talk about trying to have home court dominance, the Kings have definitely haven't put their foot on the accelerator on this one.
They have it 6-8 at home, just 6-8, and that's hard to understand. They are 7-6 on the road, but a chance with all these home games to get above 500 here. Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for game night. As always, Henry, great to work with you. Have a great call tonight.
Yes, sir, Scooter.
All right, coming up next, Kings Live pregame. We've got you covered all evening long. It's Kings Live pregame, followed by the tip at 7. G-Man with the call of that. Jason Ross will be here with the high flyer for Kings Live pregame. Keep it tuned all evening long. Big series of games right now. Kings and Lakers today and Saturday here at Golden One Center. Appreciate you listening to Game Night. Have a great night right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The